So one problem that can arise in our sexually aroused males is paraphimosis, and that basically means the willy is stuck out. I just want you to have a couple of tips of what you're going to do in that situation, because it can look really alarming. When the willy comes out, the longer that it's out for, the more swollen it's going to become. So a good tip is to make up a sugar water solution. So you might have to dissolve the sugar in hot water, and obviously make sure it's cooled right down before you then dunk your dog's willy in it. And the idea of doing that and surrounding the willy in lots of sugary solution is to try and reduce the swelling. So that's the first thing that you can try and do. And the second thing, you might want to put on a pair of gloves for this, is to try and encourage the willy back into its sheath. So you might want to use a bit of lubrication, something like Vaseline. But it can become an emergency if it's out for too long. So, 20 minutes or so. If you've got a long drive to the vets, then you might say to yourself, oh, I've got an hour's drive, I'm not going to leave this long at all. But give it 20 minutes, half an hour if you haven't got too far to go, and see whether it can reduce in size and go back in, and 9 times out of 10 it will. The other thing to note as well about our young males, especially during their younger years, but this can carry on throughout their whole lifetime if they are left entire, so without having their testicles removed, is a lot of smegma from their willy that can be quite profuse, and it can look quite green or yellow in colour, and for some dogs can be actually quite alarming, the amount they produce. So some people actually choose to castrate to reduce all of that production, especially if we've got young children and things, and this is all kind of being splashed around, spread around the house. It sounds dreadful. You've got children perhaps that are young and crawling, etc. So maybe for hygiene reasons. So they're just things to think about in our males, especially those that are left entire. And just one final note, paraphimosis, so with the penis stuck out, that can happen in males that have been neutered also. Another problem that may occur is paraphimosis, which means the willy is stuck out. You need to act fast if it seems stuck. You can use a sugar solution, cool down, and pop the penis into the solution, which can take away any swelling, then use KY jelly or Vaseline to lubricate it and push it back into the sheath. Do wear gloves. But this can become an emergency if it stays out for too long. If it's not going back in after around 10 to 15 minutes, despite your efforts, get the owner to collect and take the dog to the vet. One way to try and prevent this occurring is to keep the hair short at the top of the prep use.